I'm reading a book called Blink by Malcolm Gladwell. It's all about um, your split second reactions or judgments towards things. Um, I really enjoy this book because the part that I'm reading right now is interviews with people who have done tests on products and their shape, size, coloring, etc. Meaning that, so for example, um, so they're in a grocery store, him and a few people, or I don't know what to call them, product designers, let's say, are walking down or in a grocery store. And so I'll start here. We've done work in just about every aisle, Maston said as we walked in. In front of us was the beverage section. Ray leaned over and picked up a can of 7 Up. We've tested 7 Up. We had several versions, and what we found is that if you add 15% more yellow to the green on the package, if you take this green and add more yellow, what people report is that the taste experience has a lot more lime or lemon flavor. So creating the design of the product of 7 Up, if you add more yellow, they will say it has a more of a lemon flavor. If you add more green, people will report that it has more of a lime flavor. All based on colors and representations that we have implemented and designed within our mind to represent things that we think. So if we take the color yellow, we'll associate it with a lemon. If we take the color green, we'll associate it with a lime. The more green on a package of a citrusy drink, the more belief that we will have a taste sensation of lime. So, and people were upset. You're changing my 7 Up. Don't do a new Coke on me. It's exactly the same product, but a different set of sensations have been transferred from the bottle, which in this case isn't necessarily a good thing. So they did these changes, I don't know when, I'm guessing a few years ago, to the product, and people got pissed off because the 7 Up taste was changing only to them, but in actuality, it wasn't. It was the exact same formula that 7 Up was created. The only difference was the packaging. And then through those split second judgments of yellow and lemon, green and lime, people created their taste. They created a different sensation of their taste based on their unconscious snap judgments of the design of the bottle or can. And so what people are doing now is manipulating us just through these snap judgments. But in actuality, only we are manipulating ourselves. These companies realize what the unconscious is right now, and they are using that to use these snap judgments within ourselves to get us to buy more, such as sex and cars, or sex and pretty much anything, sex and body odor, or sex and acne. I mean, a lot of these products have sex selling, and so it's that snap judgment of, oh shit, if I have a pimple, females won't find me attractive, I need to buy this product. But in actuality, I mean, only you control yourself. You have that decision to say whether or not you give a fuck about your pimples and sex. And as well, in this book, they showed some samples of surveys that people have done. Um, so in this, what you're supposed to do is either like create a check mark or point your finger to whatever side those things represent on. So on the graph, you saw European American or bad. And then on the other side, there's African American or good. And obviously, you saw a picture of an African American and a European American, a white and black dude. And the words hurt, evil, glorious, and wonderful. So what you're supposed to do is associate those in the right categories. And these studies have found that it takes you longer to do this section of the survey than a section connecting a white man and good and a black man and bad. And that shows that people have a lot more difficulty trying to associate African Americans with good. It's a snap reflex. I mean, you're supposed to do this as fast as you can to see what is within the unconscious. So within the unconscious, there is a snap judgment of African Americans and black, or sorry, and bad, and white people and good. And so it's easier to associate that, meaning that it takes a lot less time to put these things in the right categories when a white person and good is on the same side of the survey. And as well, they did a like an exam test where the first question is, what ethnicity are you? Like, what's your race? And they had a group of black people do this test. Some had that question as the very first question, and then some didn't. And they found that when that question was first asked, they would do a lot worse on the test because all of those snap judgments of an African American as being associated with bad is immediately put into the unconscious within that preliminary question of what is your race. And then that would affect the rest of their test, where the African Americans who did not have that preliminary question weren't affected by that stereotype or snap judgment, and then therefore they did better on that test. This is how fucked up the mind is. This is how controlling the mind is. It will affect everything just through a simple symbol or association within a word or definition within a word. And that will affect what you do in life. So I mean, if you're subject to all of these symbols that we're not conscious of, because it's not within the conscious, it's within the unconscious. Then we have no idea what's going on. So, the Destiny Eye process is a method and a course to understand first your conscious, subconscious, and then unconscious. It takes time to get through. It is an incredibly assisting course to not be affected by these snap judgments that we create, and it's to also see these snap judgments and forgive ourselves for associating black people with bad, so that we are no longer affected by that, so we no longer have these unconscious fuck-ups, these unconscious limiting definitions and ideas that we've associated with words, symbols, ideas. And it's to see things for exactly what they are, instead of just seeing a black person as bad. You'll see a black person as a black person. You won't have any association. And you won't allow that association to affect your ability to live equal and one with anything. So, investigate Destiny. You can go to, there will be links at the description box to the Destiny Eye process, to Destiny. I suggest you investigate it.